I'm not black.
Should you actually change your accent after umefika UK?
Accent lazima change.
Welcome back again to successful stories of Kenyans in this country that I normally call heaven.
It's not heaven, it's somewhere close.
I mean, somewhere close to heaven is heaven, not hell. Purgatory. Not purgatory.
Nika ukienda Nairobi, ukienda Tao, Nyayo, unaona si Tao already. But unaweza tembea ufike. Anyway,
mimi si mtu wa Nairobi. I don't think that's very important, to be honest. Anyway, so today we are actually going to discuss, should you actually change your accent after umefika UK? Should you change your accent? I think it's a disgraceful thing to do. Nobody should ever do that because you are forgetting your identity. And today I'm actually here with Greg again. Of course, you know this guy.
Thank you.
And I'm here to convince him that he should not change his accent. He does that.
Accent lazima change. Sioni any other way ya kuleta hii conversation. Accent lazima change. Ukienda in a different country, like they say, be like the Romans, lazima change accent. Aya, acha ni break it down.
Okay.
Umekuja hii country. Let's say Mkongo amekuja Kenya. Right?
Yeah.
So Mkongo amekam Kenya, anajaribu kuongea na mtu, anajaribu kupata services. Ndio apate kazi Kenya. Haizianza kusema batoto bakungu.
Ataanza kuongea Kiswahili Kiswahili ya Kenya.
It's the same thing as mzee ametoka Mombasa amekuja Nairobi, hata itabidi aongee hiyo Kiswahili
ya Nairobi.
Exactly. Hata kuja hapa tukwambie I say.
But sasa unajua the problem sasa na kitu yenye where you get ni Kiswahili ya Kongo na Kiswahili ya Kenya ni different. So ule msee akitoka Kongo akuja Kenya kuongea Kiswahili ya batoto ba Kongo.
Hivyo ndo una sound kwa wazungu.
It's the same.
No, wait. Nataka uelewe, sikia.
It's the same thing. Na msee anatoka Nigeria, anaongea hiyo English ya Nigeria inaitwanga aje? Pidgin. Anakuja UK, anaongea Pidgin. But for us it's different because sisi tunakuja UK tunaongea Kizungu, because sisi huwa tunaongea Kizungu yenye ni grammatically correct most of the time, because see, it's not our mother tongue.
I agree. However, kwa mzungu una sound kama batoto ba Kongo. Ukikeep accent yako.
Ushawahi kuwa na mzungu mwenye amekuwa na issue na wewe kwa sababu ya accent yako?
Hapana, that's a funny thing. Because tuko UK, ingekuwa America ingekuwa different. Actually, people in America na watasema, people in America have it even very different. Okay. Kwa sababu hii country, people are more polite. So they never tell you. So what I avoid to have conversation na najua kuelewi. Nika wewe ukuje hii country, acha nikwambie watu utafanya hivyo. Ukuje hii country uanze kuongea na msee wa Irish. Manze akianza kuongea unasema manze umse unamtoroka. No lie.
Because I usikii kitu anasema.
Exactly. Na ni the same thing. Hautamwambia ni aje by this uongee fiti. Utakuwa tu zile za just avoiding it. And then you obviously lose space in the rooms where you're supposed to be at. Ukawa unataka kugrow. So at the end of the day uta have to adapt accent wise. Hata ujaribu aje. Ukikuja hapo anze kusema bottle. Wednesday.
No. We don't say Wednesday in Kenya.
Tunasema nini?
Tunasema Wednesday.
Exactly the same thing. Sawa basi useme Wednesday.
Kwani Wednesday na pronouncewa aje? Wednesday.
Exactly, ndio umesema.
Wednesday.
So kuna vitu zenyewe ufanya yenye si tunadhani tuko nini, but tutaenda ongeleshe msee kwa sababu muambe hivi wife hata that wase wengi ka nyinyi nurses mmekuja mmework na wase wenye wako they needing for help, like wamezoea wataenda hiyo place wapatane na immigrants. But ukienda jobs zingine kato umeingia seme certain warehouses, hata si ati job yani. Kuna warehouse ya kwanza nilienda nilikuja nikamwambia mate niko umse anasema nini. So unless uanze kukua ile keen And it's the funny thing, the more you listen, the more you understand them, the more unaanza kuwa copy. Kwa sababu hujui.
Okay.
So accent yako itakuwa as good as how you understand them. So unaweza kosa ku understand msee ukienda north ama somewhere.
Yeah.
Kwa sababu wewe una believe wase wanafaa kuongea kama wewe.
Yeah, I mean I do get it because to be honest, watu huwa na change accent ina depend na environment na influence ya mahali wako. Like kama ukikutana na Mkikuyu mwenye anaishi Bungoma au Kakamega,
sema tu wewe.
Well, mi sina accent ya Kiluya, sina accent ya Kikuyu, sina accent. I think mi nakuwa na accent tu yangu.
Ya Kiluya mama.
Sina accent ya Kiluya.
Sawa basi.
I have a very beautiful accent.
Ya Kiluya.
Well, call it whatever you want to call it.
Si tuko tu honest, ni ya Kiluya. But anyway, it's not a problem. Just ni ya Kiluya, ni sawa.
Okay.
Hata mimi nakuongana, mimi nimekaishi around Wakale. I know there's a few things don't come Kale. That's fine.
Yeah. It's okay. But kitu nilikuwa nasema yani msee ukikuja huku hivi UK unakuwa influence kwa zile ndio kizungu yenye unaisikiza kila time. But I don't really believe that you actually need to change your accent, and because I actually have examples za wale wase wenye wamekuwa huku hivi UK for years, they are tremendously successful.
Nani nipe moja?
Kiraitu Murungi
alirudi kuwa successful in Kenya.
Okay, basi wewe rudi Kenya ukavae governor.
No, he was successful in Kenya.
He was successful in UK.
Alifanya nini UK?
He was a lawyer here. He was very successful.
Agreed.
Yeah.
No,
he was very successful. I mean,
I'll be honest.
You just can't come out of UK to go to Kenya, vie for governor and get it when you are not successful in UK. It's not possible.
It is possible.
I'm challenging you then.
Mistaki, hiyo ni patia mse mwingine. Ile nasema ni number one, unaenda for mwambie mse, lazima ujue class yako. Unless kwa hiyo class, sawa.
Okay.
Because I'm sure Kiraitu Murungi, I don't know about their family background, but I'm sure he's not the first rich person.
Well, I don't know
Kali
about
kuja
that.
UK, kuja kusoma, kufanya anything, I'm sure he's not the first rich person. So, siwezi jiweka na mse mwenye ako na bloodline ya do, unaona, hiyo ni different. Ule mse wa kwanza mwenye anatoanga wase hiyo familia, lazima have highly adaptable. Na, I mean, survival for the fittest. So, mimi nikienda nawe kwa room.
So, the fittest is the guy who speaks the best English accent?
No, not the best English accent. The fittest is a person who looks more like the successful people that they're trying to be.
Basically, who sounds the most English.
Yeah. If kama yendo blunt way unakufanya, but unajua ukikuwa Kenya is a different thing. So I'm saying, in whatever unaenda, achana hata English, in whatever place unaenda, for you to be successful, you have to mimic the successful people, including one of the most important thing in your wengi wa understanding communication. And communication
includes accents.
Exactly.
You know, actually, speaking of accents, when I started working here in this country, so I actually changed my accent. And for those who follow me on TikTok, niliwaambia mi ukuanga na accents mingi. But nowadays, I think most of my accent ni kwa tu ile moja. So what happened, I changed my accent, nikaanza kuongea like the way British people wanaongea. I changed my accent to be like the British accent. And then one time I'm speaking to this patient, and then she's like, I like your accent. Where are you from? So I was like, I thought my accent is like yours. So since that day, nikajua kweli wazungu in UK, to be honest, they don't care about your accent. All they care about is tunaelewana. All they care about is
do you think
tunasikizana.
All right, do you think sawa, ni mse ulikuwa unaenda kusaidia. Unajua unaniexplainia
and actually that makes it even more difficult because remember, unaona saizi venye tuko healthy, our sense of hearing, our brains, kila kitu iko poa. But remember, these are patients wenye they are poorly, they are sick, they are very weak. Some of them, most of them are elderly, so wako na difficulty hearing. lakini bado nikichange accent yangu niongee kama hao, wanaona yeah, no. So venye nili switch back into the way to just be a natural speaker. What the hell is that be doing in the camera? Anyway, mambo ya accent mashetani. Yeah, so wakati nili change into my natural accent, or the way I would just normally speak, then nikaona like I'm just flowing, like naongea na everyone, and then I become even more free because I'm not hiding anything. I'm not trying to be something that I'm not.
I'm not saying be something you're not. No. Hata ukijaribu kuchange accent yako at some point itakuwa yako ni yako. You never lose it, unaona? But then the person who is more palatable to the ear in terms of accent. So kama mimi na wewe tukienda kwa room.
Yeah.
Alafu tunaenda kujaribu kuchukua like a certain role that needs a lot of soft skill. Wewe kuja na accent heavy na mimi nikuje na accent yenye si heavy. Mimi ndachukuliwa more. It's just a given. So mimi nasema anywhere utaenda, people will have biases. It is the way we live life.
It is, yeah, absolutely.
So the less biases mtu ako nayo against you, the more you can navigate.
I mean, unaona hiyo example yenye umesema like mimi na wewe tuingie in a room with the accent and everything. Let's say that maybe that room is like full of white people. Kwanza the first thing that they see, you guys are black.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not saying that they are being racist or anything, because I think I like being identified as a black person rather than just they normally call
when in black
person of color.
When in black,
I'm not a person of color. I'm a black
African
man.
When in black, many African.
Now you see, now that's now the problem. This guy is not black. He's an African man. He's not black.
Yeah, I'm not black. Other black people, the quote-unquote black people, are black. They'll call you the worst people because the black is coming from America most of the time. Because I mean, British people don't call themselves black. They'll say I'm Jamaican. They will never say I'm black.
Okay.
So the black people, when you utenda huko utaambiwa no, you're African. You're not
back
black
to
American.
Accent. Ebu nipatie 3 reasons why I need to change my accent in UK.
Number 1, to be easily palatable to people.
Yeah.
So wherever you go, you change your accent not to be more like them and more like the universal. Kazi ile unasikia kwa radio. So this is even a good nini. Una kwa radio.
Yeah.
Those people change their accents, you know that, right?
Larima change his accent.
Utaisikia mali kwa radio mse ako na northern accent. Ask yourself why. It's called RP something. That's the accent they use. So there's an accent for professionalism, even among his British people.
I know there is that. I can't remember the name of that. Like the accent of the Queen. I can't remember.
Yeah, in short, RP. Najua the long form is something. But I'm saying, even them.
Yeah.
Even the white people. Don't even put it. Even white people change their accents. They don't come from north and come here and then just speak the same way.
But for me, I think my main point is make sure that when you're speaking to someone, you're speaking in such kinds that anasikia kitu yenye unasema bila yeye kustruggle.
Atijakataa na hiyo. Unanielewa? Ndo nakwambia. The way you do that is by changing your accent. In discussion we have earlier, you're explaining accent, changing of accent in a very long
Okay.
If you are going to change the way you speak so that you speak in a way that people understand you more, it's called changing your accent.
Right.
Exactly. So wewe na mimi, you're just in the same page as me, ni ati you uko in denial.
Let's do this. Okay, nipatie advantage number 2.
Number 2 ni when you change your accent, or rather when you get to a point in your accent yako is professional, it's universal. Kuna wase wenye watakwambia.
Yani, to be honest, you are calling the British accent professional.
No, haujaelewa. In Britain, there's a professional British accent. there's other accents that are not professional.
Okay.
So in Britain, ukikuwa hapa Britain, even British people change their accent.
Okay, endelea na hiyo
so ile wanaitaka code switching, kaushaisikia kitu kaa hiyo.
Yeah.
So ile nasema ni ukiingia mahali number one ni you want to be easily palatable, which is the most important thing.
Okay.
Number two ni it gives you more confidence. Because because that increases your communication. When you're in communication when you take care of your communication, now wase watakuwa willing to listen to you more. It happens. Nikikuja hapa na nikuwe na like a certain way of speaking, you would feel like what I'm saying is more important just because of le naongea.
No, sasa hiyo ndio ile kitu like for us Africans inaitwa ukoloni mambo leo. Ushaisikia hiyo kitu?
Unajua bro, una bring it back to Africans. Na mimi nakwambia even in this country.
No, I'm not bringing it to Africa because we are Africans.
I'm using it as a universal thing. Don't be specific with Africans. I'm saying use it as a universal thing.
Okay.
Universally, even amongst British people, if you speak like the Queen, like you said, you're considered high class. So there's no colony hapo. That is them amongst themselves. Even if it's them amongst themselves, if you speak with a certain accent, you have a high status. And every single time you walk into a room, the first thing people question themselves is how high is your status. And people will only work with you if they feel your status is high enough. So, ukitaka ku increase status yako in any single field, communication is the easiest way to do it. And by communication is your vocabulary and your pronunciation, which is your accent. The way you pronounce words in the accents. No, your pronunciation and your vocabulary. So improve your vocabulary na nini pronunciation yako. Obviously literature na kila kitu vile unaongea and how unapamba how you speak, that's also different. But I'm just saying these are components of your communication. So if you're not going to come in this country and improve your communication, you're not going anywhere.
Your story nimekushare ukoloni mambo leo, it actually reminds me of a conversation I once had with someone. And then akaniambia that alikuwa ni Kenya ama ni Zimbabwe. I have many friends. So anapeleka watoi wake as in before kuja UK, anawapeleka expensive private school. The guy is just like a nurse or something, earning peanuts anyway. We all know. So he's struggling so much to pay school fees for these children to go to this very expensive school. And then I asked this guy, what really are they being taught in that school that you are very proud of? And then without shame, the guy tells me that my children are actually speaking a very good English. They're actually speaking like white people in Britain, And there was one of my cousins who actually lives in Britain, and he came to visit us, and she's married to a white man, and then the white man was talking to my children, and my children were speaking to him like the way the children in UK are speaking, and then I could actually see in his eyes how his eyes were actually lit, and I was like, mazee, wazungu walitoka Afrika, lakini ukoloni waliacha kwa akili zetu, na si makosa yao, but is our fault.
That guy is doing the best thing ever.
Yeah, I think that guy is dumb.
All right, okay. When we have kids, all right, when you get to have kids, and say it going to such a setting, and my kids are speaking quote unquote kama mzungu na wako wanaongea the way you want them to speak. Let's see who's going to be more palatable to people. Unajua sikia, life is, there's two types of people in life. The people who complain about life and the people who use life. Umenisikia, to their benefit. Kwa msa alisema hivi and I believe them. Before you try and change in life, be an expert in life. And experts in life instead of kuanza ku fight things, they look for ways to be better than other people. Okay. So I'm saying this,
to be honest, I have no problem with children who are like born in UK because that is the accent. Listen, that they have, that is the only thing that they know.
Au unajua sisi ndo mafala kwa sababu au white people unaongelea. Unaona wakiendaga Kenya.
Yeah.
Unajua the first thing wanafanyanga ni ku learn the local. You ndo you happen. Wanaingia hapo wana learn the local na hivyo ndo hata wa Chinese walifanya. Let me give you an example. Wa Chinese walienda America learn everything about your culture, wakakuwa better than them. Okay. That's how it works. So ukikuwa hapo hivyo kuewa Mr. Staki, you're not moving forward. What you're doing is you're just stopping your nini. You'd learn it, be better than them, and then you now state the rules. Unless you, because ule mse mwenye ako better ndo na state rules. Unaona hata wazungu wakose kuja Kenya.
Yeah.
Wale wase watakuwa Kenya wenye watakuwa better. Ndio hata nini. Hata ukiangalia hata English ya Kenya, wase wengi wakiongea English Kenya, wanaongea kama wase wa Kilimani.
Okay.
Because wase wa Kilimani ndio wanakuwa quote kuna do Kenya. That's how it works. So kama wewe unataka complain, sawa tu. Maybe itakusaidia. Mimi nasema hivi, kwa maisha yangu I'm living a very short life to try and change the rules. Mimi niko hapa hivi follow the rules of success. Na kama rules of success zinasema ingia mahali na uongee English na hivyo ndo utanini. Sawa, kwa sababu most successful people wanasemaga most successful people walikuwa successful juu ya kulamba matako without having profanity of mtu successful. That's how it works. Unaona?
Fair enough.
So mimi nasema hivi, wewe jikaishe huko, unanisikia vile mnataka hivyo. Mimi ile nitafanya ni without losing any dignity, I am going to improve myself. If that makes nini ni change one small thing.
Advantage number 3.
Advantage number 3 is like nisema inakupea confidence. Advantage number 3 is the fact that you it's gone plan hizi vitu. I'm just trying to look for nini. The whole thing is an advantage, but nikijaribu kuzi break down in a few advantages. The last part ni it improves your communication around. It's like hata wewe na mabeshte zako kienda mahali. Hata wase unataka job kwa. Hata mabeshte zako mpata na wase. Ukiingia mahali uende upata na even fellow British people, black people wenye wako huko. You kind of you're not standing out because of communication. Maybe you can stand out because of other things, but you can easily blend in, which for some people is not a good thing. Wanataka ku stand out. Mimi nasema when you get into a place, you first pattern match. You match the pattern, and then you can change the pattern. Unaona? For any change ni pattern matching. Kawa wazungu walikuja Kenya wakajifanya kawa sisi, and then wakakuja wakaanza kuturule. Wakuingia kirule, wangefukuzwa. They knew it. Even though unafanya wewe pia. Ukikuja hapa hivi unafanya ile kitu walikuja kufanya ni tani yenyu. Unakuja hapa unajifanya kama hao, alafu sasa na hivyo na Wahindi wamefanya. Wahindi walikuja hapa kuongea ngoso wengi, alafu sasa wanaongea ngoso hapana. Exactly.
Yeah, so actually speaking of Wahindi by the I mean, you know, Wahindi are very successful in this country. To be honest, they own majority of property in London.
Yes.
But honestly, if kama kuna mtu hii dunia huwa ha change culture yake.
I didn't say change culture. Now you're losing it. Sikusema change culture.
Wacha. Let me just nimesawa kwa word ka Kizungu. I need to work on my vocabulary.
Unaona sasa?
Yeah.
Na hivyo uta lose job.
I'm not palatable.
Hivyo uta lose job.
Sasa wacha tuseme Wahindi kama ndio watu najua hii UK hawabadilishi accent yao ni Wahindi. Muhindi amekaa hapa hivi, alizaliwa huku, ameishi huku, amebaye manyumba, ana magari, ako na mabiashara, lakini anaongea tu kama Muhindi, but akiongea na wewe anaongea kama Muhindi ndio, lakini mnaelewana 100% without yeye kuchange accent yake.
Wahindi, it's funny because unachagua wale Wahindi unataka kuona. Because Rishi Sunak ni Muhindi.
No, I'm not talking about Rishi Sunak. Rishi Sunak speaks like a British person.
So now you're helping me.
Yeah.
Unaona? So the idea ni akina Rishi Sunak had to do what they had to do. Ndio sasa Wahindi wengine waamue kufanya hivyo. Kwa sababu hao Wahindi huko juu walihavu. Wewe sisi kama Kenya hatuko wengi huku, so sisi ni kama spearheading, sisi ndo tunafaa ku lead tukue huko juu, and then whoever is coming next, then they can act the way they want. That's how it works.
Do you think Aliko Dangote, because he has businesses all over the world and investments all over, do you think Aliko Dangote would be richer if he had dropped his Nigerian accent and adopted a British accent?
Apana. All right. So in a lot of things, naona tutaenda for next episode. Ukiingia kwa room, na upate kuna msee mmoja amevaa shati. Kila msee amevaa suti, msee mmoja amevaa shati. Huyo ndo mwenye hiyo place. But reason huyo ndo mwenye hiyo place, si eti yako haivaa suti before. Si eti saa kila mtu kwa room atakosa kuvaa suti. Ni mwenyewe anaweza set the rules juu ni kwake. But yana require nyi wote wengine mvae suti. So penyewe si tu huko, tukiingia kwa hii country, hatuko hiyo point ya tunaweza amua tusivae suti. Tuko kwa hiyo point ya lazima tuvae suti.
So
levels, yani unaona niambia Dangote ako level yake. Dangote ako ni kama kina Mark Zuckerberg, kina nani alikuwa wanavanga manguo zao. Unaona? Lakini wale wenye wanakuja kuanza to them, wote ni suit.
Actually, you know, I've just thought about something in Kenya. There is a man called Peter Kenneth. Peter Kenneth is half black, half white.
Yes.
Peter Kenneth is a very handsome man.
I don't know about that. Maybe tell me. I can't confirm or deny.
Peter Kenneth has a very good English accent. Peter Kenneth is the kind of English that so many Kenyans worship, and they do worship that kind of English. But Peter Kenneth vied for presidency, and Peter Kenneth did not just lose. He was a very good candidate.
And he lose too.
He did not just lose, but he lost.
But he didn't lose because of his
tragically, tremendously,
wewe sasa unachukua one thing, ngoja, unachukua one thing unaipeleka huko. Nikaa sasa nikwambie kukua na kwenda gym ni fiti. Unielewa? Alafu uanze kuniambia vile kuna mtu alikuwa anaenda gym lakini alilose presidential election. It's like aziko anywhere close to each other. It's like
watu walikuwa wanamchocha,
has nothing to do with the English yake. Ni kama
it does. And I will actually come back to, because ulisema that watu wanakuanga na bias. Yes. So trust me, ukiingia kwa room, by the you remember that board that you're talking about? Mimi na wewe tuingie pale hivyo, very nicely dressed, but mimi nanuka kajasho, wewe umepiga marashi nanukia nice. Trust me, you'll be taken more seriously. Yeah.
See the same accent.
Peter Kenneth.
Peter Kenneth alikuwa anaenda against legacy. We're not just so and different. I think okay.
Anyway,
for the political people that I explain here, I can't even fully explain.
Actually, let's not talk about English politics.
It's part of the reason.
Absolutely. Anyway, this is what I will conclude by saying. Guys, make sure that when you're speaking here in UK,
you change your accent.
Don't change your accent, but make sure that ukiongea maneno yako yanasikika. Kama kuna zile vitu zenye Kenya tumezoea kupronounce vibaya, zipronounce venye inafaa. As long as ule mse mwingine anaelewa kenye unasema.
Just change your accent like you said. Amesema in so many words. Ukikuja hii country, mimi nilikuwa nafanya hivi. It's something I don't like saying out loud. But mimi nilikuwa nasikiza watu wanaongea and I mimic them. And that's another story for another day. Mimi I am a big proponent of changing your accent na vile unasema hizo vitu zote kwa sababu hiyo imenipea job.
Okay.
Exactly. Kuna places nimeenda nimepatiwa job
Fine.
mara kadhaa.
Perfect.
Juu ya accent. So I'm saying this, kama unataka kuwa nini in this country, ndio kuambia jump. Kama umekuja hapa ika una do,
wakikwambia jump you say how high.
Wakikwambia change accent sawa, haina shida. In short, if you're willing to and you're fighting to be successful, an accent is a very small aspect that if it's needed, fanya.
And so it doesn't cost a thing. Exactly. Guys, one last question to Greg. Would you have wished, or would you, or rather, actually, would you have wished if you were born white?
No.
Thank you. Yeah, so guys, keep liking, keep subscribing, keep sharing. Watch out for more videos. Itakuwa kubwa au vipi?
Yeah, we're trying to grow this into a podcast. Nataka mtuambie suggestion if you have
by the way, yes, if they want us to, can they suggest the name of the podcast?
Wrong answers only.
Yeah, exactly.
Wrong answers only. One of the best
so
answers. Let's see.
Yeah, exactly. Maze,
Sindio.
until next time.
Let's do it.
Wazi.
All right.